Charles Krautheimer, author of the New York Times bestseller, Things That Matter. Charles, before I get to you, I do agree with me. General Scales said that they discussed the 1,500 troops in September. President Obama waits till 3 days after the election to do it. And I think on matters of war, politics are off limits.
If Scales is right, this is disgraceful. It's one thing to delay an announcement for 3 days for cynical political reasons. That's bad enough. But if, in fact, the generals wanted this in September and he delayed the actual deployment until now for political reasons, think of what's happened in the interval. Between September, ISIS overran parts of Anbar, including one village, where they massacred the tribesmen, men, women, and children. Now, whether we could have made a difference, I don't know. But in principle, to wait because you're doing this for political reasons is, I think, truly disgraceful.
And the issue of war is the one issue where, I hope we all rise above politics.
And don't forget, the withdrawal from Iraq was timed to give Obama the full year, 2012, in which to say, I ended the war. And remember, the surge in Afghanistan was ended in the summer of 2012, when the generals were begging Obama to, because that was in the middle of the fighting season, to at least continue until the end of the fighting season, which would have been after the election. But he wanted to do it before the election. So this is not the first time that elections have intervened in decision-making on war and peace.
All right, let me now go to the why. What I want to talk to you about is that you said, if I quote you correctly, or almost, is that the GOP, the Republicans didn't win on Tuesday, the Democrats lost.
Look, this was an election. This was an absolute, total repudiation of Obama and Obamaism. There's no question about that. But unlike in 1994, where the Republicans had a contract with America, a program outlined the way you do in a parliamentary system, where the opposition will contest an election, actually have a program in place, a platform. Unlike that example, there was no particular program. So it was a repudiation of Obama, but it wasn't an endorsement of Republicanism yet. It was a way to say, we endorse you, we give you the gavel, we give you the opportunity. And that's why it's incumbent upon the GOP right now to demonstrate that they are a party of ideas and action by developing an agenda, which they are doing. Boehner and McConnell are doing that right now, to pass legislation and to dare the president to exercise a veto. And that will show you who the party of no really is.
You know who I think is really sort of a lot of the problem in the past 2 years is Senator Harry Reid. The fact that he never let things get to President Obama's desk so President Obama could sign it or veto it or whatever. And I never understood why President Obama didn't call up Harry Reid and say, look, you're going to win your vote because you own the Senate. Get something to me. But it was unbelievable to me.
Obama didn't do it because they were collaborators in putting the Senate into a 2-year coma. And they did it for naked political reasons, so that the vulnerable Democrats in the Senate would not even have to cast a vote on difficult issues, because Harry Reid would never actually bring these issues to the floor. The Senate went into suspended animation. It hasn't existed in the last 2 years.
The president said that the election on Tuesday said that the American people want us to work. Well, no kidding. I mean, why didn't you get some bills to your desk? You know what the American people do want some work, whether they agree or not. They want something done.
And that was the untold story. The media, the Democrats insisted it was Republicans who were the party of no. There were a lot of bills, hundreds, that were passed in the House by Republicans that went to the desk of Harry Reid, where they died an ignominious death.
And they could have even been sent to conference to something work out, but he said,
exactly.
But he said no, didn't send them to conference. Anyway, Charles, thanks. Always nice to see you, sir.
Great pleasure. Thank you.